Thank you, Janet. Our next proposal for Honorary Alderman is Mr David Grindell. That in pursuance of Section 249 of the Local Government Act 1972, the distinction of Honorary Alderman of the Borough of Broxtowe be conferred upon Mr David Grindell, who has, in the opinion of the Council, rendered eminent service as a past member of the Council and as an expression of the high regard in which he is held by the members of the Council and his fellow citizens, that a certificate of admission be presented to Mr David Grindell. Do we have a proposer? Councillor Land, would you like to come to the podium?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, Honorary Freeman and Alderman, fellow councillors, ladies and gentlemen, and all the service personnel here. I'm delighted to formally propose former councillor David Grindell, Liberal Democrat member. I'm really proud to be flying the Liberal Democrat flag this evening and seeing one of our members recognised for the service that he has brought to the Borough of Broxtowe and the town of Stapleford, and even little bits of Bramcote also. You can read all about David's life and history in his biography, and I'm not going to delve too much into that this evening. I was first elected in 2019 after joining the Liberal Democrats in 2017, and that was when I first met David. It turned out we had a few things in common. I'd lived in Stapleford, he's lived in Stapleford, but we'd also lived in Rochdale, he told me. And then we found more and more things in common. I found David very supportive of me as I was going through the position of being elected, and then as we went through council together. You'll see from David's biography that he was quite into being the chair of finance, and indeed that extended to supporting the Liberal Democrats with their finance activities and audit and processes, and we're very grateful for his service. David, in his time since 2005, has brought much to the town of Stapleford, to the Borough of Broxtowe, raising money for causes in mental health, in domestic abuse, but also taking his roles in council very seriously. I've been grateful to know David personally as a friend, and I promise David we will meet up for that coffee and cake soon. It's a real privilege to be able to nominate David for this award, recognising the service that he's brought to our community, and I congratulate you on this, David. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Land. And do we have a seconder? Councillor Richard McRae, would you like to come up, please?
Wow. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, fellow councillors and Madam Mayor. It is with the greatest of pleasure that I stand here to nominate David Grindell, or second him, to become an Alderman of the Borough. An award he most definitely deserves as a small gesture of our appreciation for the years of service he's given as a councillor representing Stapleford and Broxtowe. I would also like to thank, I can't see him, Dave Pearson, who supported my nomination of his dear friend David Grindell. I would not be here this evening if it wasn't for my good friend. Back in 2011, I set up a community group in Stapleford, and it was David Grindell who supported me with this. He would fold the leaflets and tell me where to deliver them. Come back and he had more leaflets folded and ready to go. He did tell me not to let Jackie Williams know, because he was using the Lib Dem folding machine, and she would have told him off. I think we got away with that one, David. Over the years, we have had lots of sausage rolls together and drank lots of milky coffee, which also involved conversations putting the world to rights, especially discussions about Stapleford. Now, whilst David Grindell may not originally be from Stapleford, and he comes from a place down south where they say grass instead of grass and plaque instead of plaque, all can be forgiven, as David Grindell has always had Stapleford in his heart. David Grindell, my good friend, has been involved in so many projects for the greater good of the community. The amount of casework over the years is unbelievable, and the amount of people he has helped is second to none. Like a dog with a bone, when given an issue, David Grindell doesn't stop until he has helped resolve any issue presented to him. Excuse me. A committee member of a community group in Stapleford, where he has helped with job fairs and other events, a big supporter of a food project, getting thousands of meals to people in Broxtowe and further afield, none which would be possible without his dedication and support. David Grindell was unanimously voted as the president of the Stapleford Combined Services Club, an organisation which he has been a member of for many years. David Grindell has supported many groups and organisations over the years, in turn helping so many people they support. Whilst no longer a council, David Grindell will be missed at council meetings, where for many years he ran the finances and helped keep the books in order. He was also a stickler for tradition and following protocol. But meetings, as you know, are a lot shorter, so swings and roundabouts on that one. David Grindell, a true gentleman and someone I'm proud and happy to call my friend. Enjoy the rest of the evening and congratulations on your award. We all love you lots, matey.
Thank you, Councillor McRae. Would anybody else like to speak? No? We'll move it to the vote then. All those in favour, please raise your hand. Thank you. Anybody against? Any abstentions? No, the vote is carried then. David, would you like to come to the stage, please? And I call upon the Chief Executive to read the Certificate of Admission.
As a special meeting of the Broxtowe Borough Council held at Eastwood Hall, Eastwood, on Wednesday, the 24th of January 2024, it was resolved that in pursuance of Section 249 of the Local Government Act 1972, the distinction of Honorary Alderman of the Borough of Broxtowe be conferred upon David Grindell, who has, in the opinion of the Council, rendered eminent services to the community of the borough and as an expression of the high regard in which he is held by the members of the council and his fellow citizens.
We're having a deja vu moment. We've been through this before, haven't we?
We have. Not many times, but we have.
I'm no good at I managed it.
Thank you very much.
Turn round for a photo.
Oh, we will, yes,
Yeah,
yes, we could get rid of that thing.
Get rid of that thing. Have I got your job now?
No, I've got to stand legs apart like that.
Okay.
Oh,
Legs akimbo.
would you like to hold it as well?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we do, that's
smile
fine.
nicely, come on.
That's fine. Stay nice and close, folks. Squeeze it a little bit, David.
Okay.
That's it. And one more like that for me, nice and cheerful. That's great.
Yeah,
Well
we'll
done.
that one more.
Thank you,
for me.
David.
Thank you.
Right, David, would you like to say a few
Oh,
words?
yes, absolutely.
I thought so.
Absolutely.
Hold on to this, you'll be all right.
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay.
Madam Mayor, honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen, I was told I could only have 2 minutes, and as I'm used to chairing council meetings, then I'm going to make it 3. First of all, I have to say that I shouldn't have been here tonight, for the simple reason is that I wouldn't have actually retired last May if I'd been fit. because I wanted to carry on for another at least 8 years. And it's important for me is that being a councillor, it's not about, as one or two people have already said, it's not about what I get out of it. I get excitement out of it. It's the people. When I spent twice being the mayor of the town of Stapleford and here as the borough mayor, getting out, seeing the people, finding out what they want, and you go to places like mental health and you sit there and you speak to people, and half the people will tell you loneliness is their problem, that either their husband's died or the wife's died, especially for the older people. Of course, none of us here are old, but for older people. And it's very important that you spend a few minutes listening. It's not all about what you've got to say to them, it's listen to them. And if they have problems besides the normal ones, then you have a right to help them in any way you can. I've been privileged over these last 18, 19 years to be able to get out in the community, help people, listen to people, helping organise certain events, which is very important. But mental health is one of my main events, and it's good to see that at Durban House now, mental health is being publicised that people can go to. And of course, here at Beeston, it's been going for 51 years, nearly. And I don't know if all of you knew that. At one time, obviously, mental health was a bad stigma and nobody wanted to know. They do now. And I hope that Durban House does well as well, because that's what it's all about. And thank you very much again, Madam Mayor. So John, it's been good to see you working with each other as I was Mayor. Thank you. Thank you very much.